Pranam. So today we're doing the verse number 2.39. Anybody wants to read it? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Let's go ahead.
Bhagavad Gita 2.39. Esha te vihita sankhye buddhiryoge twimam shrinu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Esha te vihita sankhye buddhir yoge tu imam shruno buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. So let us try to understand. So this is chapter number 2, contents of the Gita summarized. And Lord Shri Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. And so far, he has explained about the analytical study. So just like, in our school, sometimes we do analytical study or, about the body, for example. This is body, okay, this is how it works, or, about some scientific thing. Okay, this is water, this is how it is, the different states like that. So it's like an analytical study. So just trying to understand things in an analytical way. Now, what is that analytical study? That we are not the body, that we are the soul. So how Krishna is explaining, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara prapti dhiras tatra na mukhyati. So just like how this embodied soul means there is a soul which has a body. We are not the body which has the soul, but we are the soul which has a body. So to understand about our true nature, the nature of the soul, that it is indestructible, that there is no birth for it, nor there is a death for it. And there is always a time that it exists, is something that we understand as the Sankhya analytical study. In comparison with the body is the opposite nature. Soul and body, two things of the opposite nature. Body is belonging to the material nature. Soul is belonging to a different type of energy called Jiva Shakti or Jiva. These two things which are inseparable, which are different from each other. You actually cannot bring them together if you think about it. Just like water and air. Water is different nature, air is different nature. But water and air come together sometimes. Anybody can think of the example where water and air come together? How do you mix water and air?
During fire, Prabhuji.
Fire, what else?
In a drink, Prabhu.
Drink, okay.
The Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, yeah, like the bubbles. Yeah, the bubbles.
The water and the...
Rain also, Prabhu. Rain.
Rain, okay, I'm not sure about the rain. I think, yeah.
It's under pressure that you infuse something,
Yeah. It's like a bubble. Just think of a bubble. The water, so just like, Coca-Cola, something like any aerated drinks. We call it aerated drinks. That means we have put some air inside the drink. But actually, air and drink cannot be mixed, but there is air inside the drink.
Also fermentation, Prabhuji.
Fermentation, yeah, something like that. Correct. So things of two different nature have been put together somehow by artificial process. Okay. and it's not going to be there permanently like that. So the bubble is not going to stay in the same as bubble. Okay, again, water will become water, air will become air. So temporarily, it has been put together. So similarly, our body is different nature. It is the external energy of the Lord. It is a material nature. Whereas the soul is similar. It's not the same, but qualitatively same. Qualitatively similar to the nature of the Supreme Personality of God, even though quantitatively it is not similar. So it is the marginal potency of the Lord. So now the problem is, I said that it is an embodied soul. It's an embodied soul. The soul does not have any kind of death. So does that mean, or does that give a license that the soul can act anything? I mean, if somebody would hear this for the first time, that yeah, soul is completely independent, then we understand, then we may come to a false conclusion that then I can do anything that I want. Again, it will become like one kind of an atheism, isn't it? I'm the soul, I can do anything. So I just do whatever I want. Is that okay then? What do you think, devotees? I'm the soul. Soul is completely, it is always there, achintyam, avinashi. It can never be destroyed. So it's okay. I mean, nobody can punish me. Nobody can put me in jail because I'm the soul. Right? Is it correct? Soul is supposed to be permanent, no? So there is a connection, okay? We're not just calling it as soul, we are calling it as embodied soul. Embodied. That means there is a condition that is enforced on the soul temporarily, that is, a body has been given. So body has been given. Will it be always be given? Will it always be given, or it is only a temporary condition?
It's only temporary.
Temporary condition, okay? After death, what happens? Will it again get a body, or will it automatically not get a body without having to do anything? Is it like that? Tata dehantara prapti, what happens?
You get a
Tata,
mixed body according to the karma.
Yeah, you're getting another body. That's the problem. This is the problem that we're trying to solve. Well, the soul's original nature is, it is pure. But right now, it is mixed with the material nature. Even though it is not, just like water and air, they don't belong to the same nature. But somehow when you mix it by artificial means, temporarily they've come together. Now that is our situation. The soul and the body, or the soul and the material nature have come together. We have come in contact with the material nature. It's like, there is pure water. See, if water is pure originally, isn't it? Originally, water is pure. Yes or no? But if I offer you muddy water, would you drink it? No. Why? Because the water is muddy. Correct? Originally, water is pure. Understood. Agreed. Originally, air is pure. But when there is a filthy smell in the air, you cannot call it still as pure. I mean, originally it is pure, we understand. But at the moment, there is a filthy smell. Similarly, water is originally very pure, we understand. But unless we purify it and take it, we won't be able to get the original pure water from it. Similarly, this is our condition right now. The soul is pure because we are qualitatively same, but not quantitatively. We are very, very tiny in comparison with the Supreme Lord. As soon as we come in contact with the material nature, we get covered by the three modes of material nature, and then because of karma, what happens? Because of karma, right? We get a body. So the soul has to take a body based on karma. This is a big problem, right? It is like a diseased condition, no? Are you able to judge, understand that this is not a natural condition? Just like how, see, when you see water, when you put it through an RO, it's pure water. You feel nice when you see the water, right? When you have some pollution air, like we talk about pollution in Delhi. When you put an air purifier, you get pure air. When you get pure air, you feel good about it. So similarly, at the moment, our soul is embodied. That is the condition. And it naturally, or it doesn't come out of that situation without the process. There must be a process of purification. Without that process of purification, it won't come out of the state of being embodied. And that process of purification is karma bandham prahasyasi. That's what Krishna is explaining. Karma bandham prahasyasi. Krishna is saying, now I will explain you. When you act in such knowledge, I will explain you. It is in terms of working without fruitive actions. When you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. So this is necessary for us. Whatever Krishna is explaining, the process of Buddhi Yoga, Krishna is saying Buddhi Yoga. So far, I've given you the Sankhya. I've just given you the analytical study. I told you, okay, what is the nature of the body? What is the nature of the soul? But for you to be able to come to the constitutional position, original constitutional position of the soul, to come to your pure identity, you have to go through a process. That is Buddhi Yoga, which I'm going to explain now. And by what is the benefit of following that Buddhi Yoga? Karma bandham prahasyasi. Karma bandham prahasyasi means you will be able to get rid of the bondages of work, right? The dirt which is there in the water. That's why we call it Cheto Darpada Marjanam Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Shikshastakam, Cheto Darpada Marjanam Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam. Cheto Darpada Marjanam means our consciousness is like Darpada, like a mirror. So this mirror has been smeared with some dirt now. When your mirror is smeared with some kind of a dirt, when you see your reflection, you can't see yourself clearly. So what happened to our consciousness at the moment? There is a little bit of dirt there. Okay, that is sense gratification. Okay, and because of that, we are not able to realize our original identity. So somebody has to tell me who am I? Because my mirror is telling me falsely. You see, sometimes when we go to some zoo or some kind of a place, you will see different types of mirrors, right? One mirror will be there which will make you look very fat. There's a mirror which will make you look very thin. There's a mirror which makes you look very tall. So like this is a distorted mirror of consciousness. And at the moment, I falsely accepted whatever this mirror is saying. Its consciousness is showing. I falsely accepted that I'm the body. I falsely accepted that I'm so and so. I'm so and so. I'm so and so. Son of so and so, etc., etc., etc. So many conceptions we have put. So many layers we have right now. So we need this process of Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness, which does the Cheto Darpada Marjana, which cleanses this consciousness so that we can originally understand what is our real identity. So here, Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means anything that describes in detail. Sankhya. Now we say even the counting is also called Sankhya. Okay, you are able to describe about something by, giving it a quantity. How many? How much? Generally, you say how many or how much. Either you say you'll buy 1 kilogram of sugar or you'll buy 1 dozen of bananas. So you're describing things now with the help of Sankhya. So Sankhya means that which describes things. Sankhya, we're not about Sankhya. Sankhya is the root word. Sankhya is what Krishna is saying. He's saying, Yesha te bihita Sankhya. Sankhya refers to that philosophy which describes the real nature of the soul. So far as explained you, right? The nature of the soul, the nature of the body. Try to understand the contrast between the nature of the soul and nature of the body, and to realize that we are not the soul, but we are not the body, but we are the soul. To understand that is Sankhya. And Krishna didn't say Tesha, he's saying Esha Tebhita Sankhya Buddhir Yoge Tvimam. So when he said Sankhya, he's saying Sankhya Yoga. Yoga means to control the senses. See, in any case, we have to control the senses and we have to add, or we have to do a plus addition of the Supreme, either with the help of analytical study or with the help of Buddhi Yoga. Somehow or the other, we should engage in Krishna consciousness, God consciousness. Either by empirical study, saying that, see, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. So if I'm soul, I'm part and parcel of Krishna. Because I'm part and parcel of Krishna, my original master is Krishna, my only service which I'm supposed to do, my actual duty is to serve Krishna or God, the Supreme Person. So if we forget that, then that is called as sense gratification. Arjuna said he won't fight, and he gave various reasons for not fighting. He says, out of dices, we say, no. So he says different things like, indecisiveness, okay, and sinful reactions, fear of sinful reactions, etc., etc., etc. He says so many reasons. But all of these reasons, what Arjuna has stated, all of them are based on the principles of sense gratification. So it is that, he's saying, I will not fight. He's not saying based on how he wants to satisfy the Supreme. He's not doing it based on the instructions of the Supreme. He's telling it based on sense gratification. Sense gratification is, see, I don't feel like doing it. I don't like it. Because it's my family. Because it's my family, I don't like to do it. Something like that. So this is called forgetting one's duty. Right? That is what Arjuna has been doing. His proposal is that I shall not fight with my relatives. I shall not fight with my kinsmen. Because if I don't fight, if I don't kill them, then I will be happy. Because they are not dead. They're not dead. Something like that. So that is a principle, that is a proposal that Arjuna is making. But I'm saying that Arjuna's proposal is sense gratification because it is not based on he's not trying to align himself to the instructions of the Supreme. What is the instruction of the Supreme? The instruction of the Supreme Person is Chaturvarnyam maya srishtva guna karma vibhaga saha tasya kartaram api mam vidya kartaram avyayam. The Supreme Person has created 4 divisions of men or the society, 4 divisions of the society: the intelligent class, the administrative class, the mercantile class, and the labor class. Now, when these 4 divisions have been done, and when somebody belongs to one of these 4 divisions, that they're expected to be sticking to that division without falsely trying to renounce that duty. So, for example, if a person has been married, now he's a married man. Now he cannot falsely renounce and act like a bachelor. You see? He has to act according to the duty that has been given to him. This is the instructions or the system created by the Supreme Person, the Supreme God. And everybody is expected to follow that system for their own good. If they simply follow that system, if they just stay within that duties, they can be able to liberate themselves. First of all, they will not at least get sinful reactions. And when they act in Krishna consciousness, in God consciousness, in the right state of mind, that is, without fruitive activities when they work, that is karma yoga or buddhi yoga. If they do it, then they will be able to do karma bandham prahasyas. They will be able to liberate themselves. Correct? So, but then if we violate the instructions of the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Person has created the 4 divisions. But if we forget the duty, here Arjuna, he's belonging to the 2nd division, the administrative class. And there is a duty for that administrative class, which Krishna explains. Yuddhecha apalayanam, Krishna explains very clearly. He gives Yuddhecha apalayanam means the administrative class or the warrior class is not expected to run away in the war. Shauryam, supposed to be shaurya, is supposed to be very valiant and fight until death in the war field. That is the instruction given by the Supreme. But Arjuna is giving a proposal that he wants to violate that duty. And he wants to take up the duty of the intelligent class, the Brahmana class. He wants to become a sannyasi. He's saying, I'll take a begging bowl and I'll beg. Instead of, rather than, he says, it sounds nice. He's saying, instead of taking this sword in my hand and causing some kind of violence towards my family and getting sinful reactions, I will take a begging bowl rather. Well, if you say like that, if there's an assembly of people, they will all maybe clap. It's a wow, what a thought. But pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasura. What is to be done, what is not to be done is not understood by asuras. See, the common public most of the time is like asura, is not sura. Asura means demoniac. Only those who are demigods, right, who are divine in nature, they understand what is pravritti, what is supposed to be done, what is not supposed to be done, only divine class knows. So, forgetting one's prime duty, wanting to cease fighting because of the thought that by killing his relatives, he will be happy and he will enjoy the kingdom, or by giving away the kingdom, or by thinking that I will defeat them and enjoy the kingdom, both these thoughts, both of them are sense gratification. If Arjuna thinks that I will win and I will nicely enjoy the entire kingdom, if he thinks like that, that is also sense gratification. If Arjuna thinks that, okay, I'll surrender, I'll just give it away, let them rule, we will go and beg. We have already done that in the past. We have disguised ourselves as Brahmanas. See what happened with the Pandavas. There was a conspiracy to kill them in the Lakh house. After that, they disguised themselves as Brahmanas. And then they go and they were begging and asking for food like Brahmanas. So he says, now, okay, I'll go back to that duty. We'll just, like the Brahmanas we used to do that time. I know that, how to do it. We'll go become like that again. But Krishna is saying that's not allowed. Okay, in emergency, they did that. In emergency, you can do that, but that's not their original position. They're supposed to act like the Kshatriyas. So, irrespective of whether he wants to fight and win and enjoy, or if he thinks that I'll give up and enjoy, both of them is an enjoyment. There is an enjoyment principle. The principle is I will enjoy. I will give up and I will enjoy, or I will take it and I will enjoy. There is a problem. The problem is I want to enjoy. The correct happiness should be I will make Krishna enjoy. It's called samsiddhi haritoshanam. This is the principle that we have to understand. Bhagavad Gita principle is whatever division of society, the entire society is working, all of them must work. But samsiddhir haritoshanam. The entire society should be working not for their happiness, but to make the Supreme Person happy. Haritoshanam. That is essential. If the entire society works in that way, then the entire society can be peaceful. But the problem today is everybody is acting for their own sense pleasure, personal sense gratification. They're not working for a collective or the gratification of the Supreme Person. So as long as this position is taken by the living entities, that we shall not work for the satisfaction of the Supreme, then as long as they do that, they will continue to be in the bondage of work. So whatever work that they do for sense gratification, that will simply come back, and they will have to suffer or enjoy those reactions by taking more and more bodies. That's all. Okay. So this is very important that we have to understand. We have to act in Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga is acting in Krishna consciousness, acting for the pleasure of the Supreme Person. This Supreme Person who is present within all of us and without, that means is present outside also. In every living entity, every atom is present, and he is present in his own abode. Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhutau. He is present in Golok Vrindavan, his original abode. He is present in his home. And he is present in every living entity, every atom he is present. So we are supposed to be working in Buddhi Yoga for the pleasure of the Supreme and not get in the trap of Maya. So the Maya, the material nature, is always, Maya means sense gratification. Maya is always trying to say, enjoy. You enjoy. First you enjoy. Forget about the world. You enjoy. Forget about the Supreme Person. You enjoy. This is Maya. See, Maya is obviously very attractive, but the problem is if we accept the instructions of Maya, then we must be ready to take many births. Because Maya will give a sense gratification in so many different types of bodies. And as soon as we take a body, obviously, there's going to be it's going to be a duality. There's no real enjoyment. It's a mixed pleasure. Right? It is like the happiness of the camel. It's a mixed pleasure. A camel tries to eat its own blood. It eats some thorny bushes, and there's some blood that comes from its tongue, and then it eats it. And it enjoys that blood, and it thinks that it's very tasty now. So similarly, this world is a world of duality. If we accept the instructions of Maya, if we just simply go by our own intuition, without taking the instructions of the spiritual master, without taking the instructions of the Supreme Spiritual Master Krishna, or the bona fide spiritual master, Guru, if we just act according to our illusion, most likely we are acting in Maya. And as long as we're doing it in Maya, even though apparently the activity may be looking good, let me tell you clearly, it's not about how the work looks like. See, Arjuna is saying very nice thing. Arjuna is saying about non-violence principle, isn't it? He's saying, I will not fight, like the Buddhism principle. He's saying, let us not fight. I will not fight. Let them fight. I will go. I will not make sure there is any violence. It sounds, apparently it is very nice. And then it can even give sense gratification to the so-called people, who are ignorant. And to Arjuna, if he says that I will not fight, yeah, I've done something very nice. And if he goes and says somewhere that, you know what, I stopped this war, I didn't fight the war, then everybody will say, wow. They'll start clapping. But that is sense gratification, Maya. It's simply going to take another birth next. The purpose of us is our life is not to do sense gratification. That I shall be apparently a religious person, a nice person. Let me do some nice activities which feel nice to me and to others, so that others appreciate, I feel good. See, this is not the principle. Okay, the principle is, how can I satisfy the Supreme? Just like how, there's a father in the family, head of the family, and everybody's trying to follow what the father is saying. Similarly, the Supreme Father is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has some instructions, very clear instructions. He has divided the society into 4 divisions, and he has got very clear activities for each of them, and he's telling them to act in a certain way. That is Buddhi Yoga, in devotional service, without without any fruitive activities. Krishna is explaining everybody to act. Now he's giving that instruction. So we are supposed to be taking that instruction and following the instructions of that Supreme Father and trying to satisfy him, rather than simply trying to satisfy myself or trying to become a great person in front of my other brothers. In front of my other brothers, I may become a very great person by doing something, some heroic activity. Or I may feel very good by doing something, but it's not that principle at all. This principle is sense gratification principle. The principle is the father should say very good. Krishna should say very good. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Krishna should say, wow, very good. You did very well. Right? Krishna should praise us. So our activities should be done in such a way that God becomes happy. And when will God become happy? When will God become happy? Anybody can say. When will Krishna become happy? What is the activity that we are supposed to do?
Prabhuji, we should align our services in line with Krishna's instructions.
Krishna's
Completely.
instructions.
Completely.
Exactly. We have to completely surrender, completely align ourselves with Krishna's instruction.
Krishna becomes happy when each and every soul goes back to him, goes back to his original house.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice. Krishna doesn't want to see us suffering. Right? For example, when you see some other devotee suffering, do you feel good? Or forget about devotee. Anybody, if you see any living entity suffering, does anybody like to see any other devotee suffering? Tell me. For any living entity suffering in front of your eyes? No, right? We feel bad. For example, when you see even a small dog also, the other day, a couple of months back, I suddenly started hearing a screaming of a dog. It was a pet dog of the, belonging to the opposite street, opposite side of the street. There was one house, and some van went on top of it, one of its leg, and was crying in pain. For many days, they tried to, give it so much of medication, all of that. But every day it cried and died. Now, how does it feel when you keep hearing that cries wailing? Do you feel good? No, right?
Feel helpless.
Feel helpless. We feel very bad. They try to do everything to revive it, but there's no option. So this is our position actually, like that dog only, seriously. Every living entity position is like that because we are suffering. And there is no cure for this. Somehow or the other we are suffering. Either it is sometimes, it is the job, it is the business, it is the family, or it is our body, or it is the society. You see, all of these forces, any one of this parameter is going wrong all the time. Do you realize that? Either it is our health which is failing, or it is our family which has problem, or somebody in our family is fighting with us, or there's a societal problem, there is a war, or there's something going on in the society, right? Or something is happening in the work, or something is happening to our business. Always something or the other is happening, and then we are literally like, when something goes totally wrong, we are suffering in this duality world. Unlimitedly we are suffering. But Krishna is feeling very compassionate for us. Krishna wants us to stop this. He wants us to be happy, just like him. He's enjoying in Goloka. Right? All the Nitya Siddhas, all the liberated souls are enjoying in the spiritual world. So he has got he's a perfect person. He has got a perfect instruction. His abode is perfect. He wants us to come out of this temporary world and establish ourselves in a very perfect manner. Okay? So anybody else wants to say, how do you make Krishna happy? Okay, we'll stop with that. How do you make Krishna, how do you make Samsiddhi Harikosha?
Chanting Krishna around,
Chanting
Prabhuji.
Krishna's names. Chanting Krishna's name. So chanting Krishna's name is not a mechanical process. So it's not an ordinary person that is telling, just take my names. He's not saying it out of ego that, I am such a great person, therefore you take my name. No. He is a perfect person. And he knows it. He is a perfect person. And by taking his name, we get the nature of the perfect person. We attain that nature of the perfect person by simply repeating his names, because he has put all of his energy inside that name. Therefore, we have to chant. Okay, we have to, simple. Buddhi Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness. It is either in our daily duties or, completely surrendering our fruits of results or results of activities to Krishna and doing pure devotional service to Krishna. Both of them mean the same thing, Buddhi Yoga. Okay, to act for the pleasure of the Supreme. So that is the principle of this verse. Esha te vihita sankhye buddhir yoga tvimam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karmavandam prahasyasi. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pratap, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondages of work. Okay, devotees, Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can I share something?
Yes, please.
The power of chanting. A
Yes,
real
please.
incident, Prabhuji, which happened here in Kanpur. I live in Kanpur, and a known family, Prabhuji. Quite a known family. One of the member of this family was disturbed by a ghost. So they didn't want to go through a tantric or a Maulana or a priest or something, because they were scared that this word would spread in Kanpur and they would have a bad name. So they contacted a Prabhuji who I knew, but he's not from ISKCON, and asked him for help, what we can do about it. He suggested them to chant the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, the whole night. He said, please chant this Maha Mantra. And Prabhuji, they did so. They chanted the Maha Mantra the whole night. And when the ghost left the body, while leaving the body, he thanked the family members for liberating him.
Jai.
This is
Wow.
power
Nice.
of chanting, Prabhuji.
Amazing.
Jai. And it's a
Jai.
real incident, and we know the people, Prabhuji, but this is the
Nice.
power of chanting.
Very nice. Yeah. Super. Very nice, Mataji. Yeah, we've heard some similar stories also, right? When Prabhupada says he liberated a ghost. Yeah, we've heard so many stories like that. Yeah.
Yes,
But
Prabhuji,
yeah.
Prabhupada one pastime, I remember when he
Yes.
entered a house which was full of,
Yes.
he chanted the Maha Mantra and the ghost left from there. And there's another incident also in this thing, Prabhuji, when a lady, the devotee, was sent to jail for chanting the mantra, and she was to be those people. I think it happened in Russia, Prabhuji, when they were trying to induce her to some ghost inside her body. She was chanting Prabhupada's Maha Mantra, Prabhupada's mantra. And when asked, why couldn't you induce a ghost into her? That person said, the tantric or whoever he was, Prabhuji, he said, no, I couldn't, because I saw old man and he was shaking his head and finger and saying, you cannot enter this body.
Yes. Very nice.
Jai.
Jai. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for giving